Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be showing you some tips and strategies for searching for research on the social determinants of health. I'll be providing you a quick overview of some important databases for social determinants of health research, providing some tips on what keywords to use for literature searching in this area, go over some important advanced search techniques for literature searching, and demonstrating what a good search strategy looks like in PubMed. To get started, let's go over some of our databases and how to access them. To access any of our databases, start on the library homepage and then click on the Databases link in the Research Tools section. This takes you to our A to Z database list, a comprehensive list of all the databases that the library subscribes to, as well as online resources that the library has vetted and recommends. I know this list can be overwhelming, so I'll be highlighting some of the most relevant databases for social determinants research. In addition, you can find a curated list of relevant databases on the Biomedical Sciences Toolkit. The first database to be familiar with is PubMed. PubMed is the largest biomedical database in the world and is usually the first stop for research on any medical topic. You can always find a link to PubMed on the right-hand side of the page under Popular and Core Resources. While PubMed is freely available on the internet, it is important to use the library's link to access it to ensure you can access the full text of articles. Another important database is Scopus, which you can find in the same section of the A to Z list. Scopus is a major interdisciplinary database covering not only the health sciences, but also the life sciences, social sciences, physical sciences, and humanities. As the social determinants of health often cross over into social science topics, this interdisciplinary angle can be very helpful for finding research that would not be found in a purely medical database like PubMed. Another important database to be familiar with is the Health Policy Reference Center, which you can get to by searching for it in the top right corner or clicking on the H to navigate by name. The Health Policy Reference Center is a small, focused database dealing with healthcare policy, healthcare access, public health, the economics of healthcare, and healthcare administration. This makes it very helpful for social determinants research, particularly on topics like policy, access, or payment models. Another helpful database is PsycInfo. PsycInfo is the best database out there for psychological topics. The social determinants of health often cross over into this domain, making PsycInfo a key resource for answering certain questions. You can also search Still OneSearch from the library homepage. Still OneSearch searches many of the library's databases at the same time. While the results are not as focused as from searching individual databases, it can be helpful for casting a wide net and for getting a feel for what literature is out there. Now, let's go to PubMed and I will show you some techniques for searching the literature. An important one is called phrase searching, which is simply enclosing a phrase in double quotes to ensure the database searches for that exact phrase rather than for individual words. For example, if you want to search for social determinants of health, you will want to search using phrase searching just like this. Another key technique is called truncation. To truncate a word or phrase, just put an asterisk at the end of a root word. For example, if we want to search for health equity, you would want to put an asterisk after the T. This tells the database it can fill in that asterisk on its own, searching for both health equity and health equities at the same time. This is helpful for getting a more thorough search without having to type in many variations of the same word. Boolean operators are the key to structuring a well-developed search. These are the three words and, or, and not. Using and searches for articles that contain both of the words or phrases, such as searching for diabetes and depression to get articles about the relationship between the two. Or searches for articles that contain either of the words or phrases in the search, and is used to search for synonyms and related concepts. For example, we may want to search for health equity or healthcare disparities. Lastly, not can be used to exclude certain words from a search. For example, you can search social determinants of health, not children, if you only want to focus on adult populations. Boolean operators become much more powerful when used together. You can also use parentheses to group terms together like algebra. For example, the search string social determinants of health or health equity and diabetes, not children, will search for all articles that have the terms social determinants of health or health equity, also have the term diabetes, and do not mention children. Lastly, let's go over how to approach keywords and phrases when searching for social determinants of health literature. It is important to note that the social determinants of health are an umbrella term encompassing many aspects such as healthcare access, education access, and environmental health. When searching for social determinants research, you'll have to decide if you want to search for the term broadly or search for a particular aspect. This will be informed by the research question you are interested in. In either case, don't assume that searching for social determinants of health will return all the literature on every component of it, and don't assume that all research dealing with the social determinants of health will explicitly use the term. For example, search strings shown here, SDOH or social determinants of health or health equity or healthcare disparities, and depression is an example of a broad question looking at how the social determinants of health intersect with depression. Note the use of the advanced search techniques I demonstrated earlier and the use of multiple synonyms to get a thorough search. In contrast, this search string, educational level or educational attainment and diabetes, is an example of focusing on a particular part of the social determinants of health, in this case educational level, and its impact on diabetes. There are a few pitfalls to avoid and tips to know when searching for social determinants of health literature. Note that if you're searching for terms such as health equity, you'll want to search for the inverse term such as health inequity, as searching for one will not get results for the other, but oftentimes both terms will be relevant for your research. It is also important not to get tripped up by the term healthcare. In the literature, it is often used both as one word and as a two-word phrase. As PubMed and other databases view these as entirely different terms, it is important to search for both variations whenever searching for the term healthcare. If you need a refresher on any of the topics in this video, don't forget to use your program toolkit, which provides a text summary of the advice from this video. Of course, feel free to reach out to your liaison librarian if you need any help with literature searching.